Good evening and welcome to Side21 and tonight's episode of The Black Hand of Fate. If this is your first time joining us on this series, our characters are playing bad guys, anti-heroes, evil characters, if you will. On that note, I'd like to go ahead and introduce all of our players tonight.
My name is Jason. I'm playing Shetic, your Fey-touched wizard necromancer.
Hi, I'm Aaron Hammontre, and I'm playing Bojack Horse Puncher, a dwarf barbarian.
I'm Brayden. I'm playing Damian Grimbane, the damn pure fighter.
I'm Jaco, and I'm playing Timber 2, the Tabaxi Ranger turned rogue.
I'm Hunter Douglas, and I'm playing Elliot Crowe, the reborn warlock.
If you don't get a chance to catch us live, all of our VODs are on YouTube, so head over to the YouTube to get caught up. We're also on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Side21TV. Shoot us a message on there. We'd love to connect. And on that same note, you can join our Discord server as well. Post pictures of your pets, recipes, connect with us through there. We'd love to see you. And on that note, that will conclude our announcements, and we're going to go ahead and jump in to tonight's episode of The Black Hand of Fate. Where last we left off, our party found themselves deep within the temple of Rilifane Ralathil, picking up on a combat situation with three manticore, these lion, human, scorpion hybrids. They surrounded Bojack, and as a flurry of blows between himself and the manticores proceeded, the manticores were eventually dispatched, which also lowered the outer magical barrier, protecting what was thought to be the location of the key here in this temple. As the magic barrier fell, the sound of bones collecting amongst each other and assembling themselves in the corner, revealing a massive Tyrannosaurus Skeletrex, a skeleton remnant from a time long past in Faerun. And the battle continued. Massive spells coming out from Shetic Bonecaller, massive bites and necrotic energy waves exploding from the Skeletrex, resulting in both Bojack Horse Puncher and Damian Grimbane going down during the fight. However, with some quick thinking, some very high spell casting rolls, a Skeletrex eventually was put back into the dirt.
Yeah.
And the key was secured from this place. Proceeding outward from the temple after the battle, our party made their way back to the Sanctum Spire, where some eating and some conversation and some research was to be done. And we're going to pick up with Damian. As you sit here in the library in the Sanctum Spire, what are you reading? What are you doing? What are we looking for?
So I'm reading the Moonstone and the History of the High Moon that I picked up.
Okay.
And I just want to just consume information in it.
Yeah. Roll an investigation check as you pour through, investigation as you pour through this tome.
Okay. I'd also like to say, other than the sound of Elliot, it's a 4. But other than the sound of like Elliot kind of shuffling through books and whatnot every now and then, I don't have to breathe, so it's like dead silent coming from me, other than the occasional page turn.
Gotcha. And we'll say, as you're doing this with a 4, you're trying to like read this book, you're trying to retain this information, but your mind is, you can hear the sound of like bones reassembling in your head. You can feel those necrotic waves. You're trying to focus, but you're having a hard time reliving the near-death experience that you just had. One thing that you do definitely glean from this text in this moment, though, is that Moonstone was used to be a major like export of High Moon, and it is part of where this town got its name from. And you learn that at one time there was some pretty extensive mining going on directly beneath the city.
Okay. I'll say, yeah, I'm definitely like angry, focused, thinking back on all these things. This is what's distracting me. I'm furious. I want a round 2. I didn't like that I lost.
And as you guys, the rest of you kind of enter the library at this time, you see Damian's kind of over there flipping through this book, being very quiet, and you see what looks like Elliot just kind of finishing some research that he was doing.
Just slam the book closed and throw it back on the shelf. How was your chicken? You're muted.
My bad.
All good.
I'm gonna walk up to Elliot, and I am observing him hard as I say what I'm about to say. And I see him in the books, and I say, Elliot, did you find anything out about the spiders?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm killing everybody. 20.
You're good. I will say it. Even with the 20, like you could still feel it trying to happen inside your head, but it felt slightly diminished from what you've been experiencing to this point.
At this point, I've stopped flipping through, and I've like put my hand on the hilt of my sword, and I'm just kind of watching out of my peripheral.
I just kind of like wince a little and look up at you. Maybe there's a word we can use instead of that. Whatever that is.
Butterfly.
Do I hear butterfly?
Yeah.
Fucking hate butterflies.
What about?
And no,
Okay.
I haven't found anything.
Do you have inspiration right now?
I don't.
You can take it.
I kind of just want to test out different arachnids now, see if it's all like. But no. Do you have the map of the city? I think I got some help from a god. I don't want to say who I spoke with. Got some help from a god, and I think we need to figure out our next 2 targets.
Sure, and I'll take it out and just kind of spread it out on the table.
So
I also walk up to Elliot with the key. I say, here, you should probably put that with the diamond for safekeeping.
could we please
Sure.
get the map on Foundry?
It's up.
You got it.
Yeah, you just go to
Oh,
the tab.
why didn't mine automatic?
Because it's not the active scene, but you guys have access to that map permanently.
Gotcha. Okay. So on this map, we know that this is where we were, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So I think
This is the museum.
I'm gonna take out a piece of charcoal and I'm just gonna scratch a big X in this.
And then this is where those damn tablet things were, eh?
Oh yeah, that's right. In the tower.
Does this map show us? I mean, I see it has like different districts marked out. Does it have any landmarks, anything?
The map is now as accurate as it is looking at it as your character.
Okay. Can I differentiate any temples on this map looking at it?
That one kind of looks like one.
That does kind of look like one.
Your mother kind of looks like one.
Oh.
I'm gonna look over at him. Let's see here. Are you immune to fire? I'm gonna say, I'm gonna put my hands on him and I'm gonna say, good one. And I'm gonna cast Chill Touch. And it's a 23 to hit.
Yep.
Isn't he almost dead?
Yep.
Oh no. Well, that sucks. Because you just took 9 points of necrotic damage.
I pass out again.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Hey, your mother.
I'll look down at Bojack, look up at Shetic. So are they in temples? And I just look back at the
And yeah, so I'm literally like, I put my hands on him, I made him go unconscious, and I go right back to looking at the map. Like, I'm business here. And I'm going to relay to Elliot what I was told. What you seek can be found in the temples. Search there, and your quest will be simple. Nice little slant rhyme. And I assume there's temples that correlate with each symbol you guys found on the tablet. I'd have to assume we have taken care of the tree that leaves us with the crescent moon and the 3 intertwined rings.
Yeah, I'd say that this place could be the 3 intertwined rings location.
It does look like it.
And
Is that something Timber would know or Jake would know?
Well, the shape kind of looks like
the
3
shape,
rings.
yeah, if this is the map that we're looking at in character, then this looks like 3 rings, kind of has a temple vibe.
We're close enough. We can
Oh, my
go
bad.
check it out.
I saw someone highlighting something else. I thought you
The
were...
Colosseum.
No.
No, we're just as players
3 rings,
very
baby.
curious about the Colosseum.
There's a ring of grass, a ring of seats, and a ring of something else. I'm
Um,
dead though.
yeah, you can't speak. You shouldn't have said that.
So,
About
yeah.
my mother.
And then the only other place that I could see a moon with, I don't know what's going on out here, but we have to get out of the walls in order to get to that. So I don't know if that's even something we should do.
Maybe tomorrow we break up in
Do
a couple
scouting.
groups and do some scouting around the city. Try to
Usually
find.
does this well.
All right, let's see. Do I have anything that can give old boy here a point of health so he's not dying next to me?
I did just fail my first death saving throw.
I actually wasn't. I was just gonna say like you're just sleeping, basically. Like
I was
like,
100%
I'm
gonna
assuming
kill.
it was like
I
yeah,
was
not
so gonna
to
kill
be
myself for
killing
this
him.
bit.
Yeah, I non-lethally necrotic damaged him.
Well, tomorrow I will run and check out what this place is.
Damian, you've been in the Elven Gardens, haven't you?
I have.
Maybe you can go with Timber. Make sure he's not gonna look at him too conspicuous there.
I'm sneaky as hell, bro. No one's gonna see me.
Not that I know this, but it's Timber left in the fucking.
I also have the capability to get in and out of the wall. I don't think any of you can do that.
Oh, we have our little pendant, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
So we can.
You guys all have Ward Weaver patches. You have never attempted to use them to go in or out of the city. You have had one checked though by it was Damian's though. And you know that Damian's now is real.
Oh shit!
Before I get into a line of questioning, that we don't necessarily know that ours aren't real though, or we do know that because they were made by Brother Nix.
Yeah, you know that they were made by Brother Nix outside of like the city government like oversight.
Okay. So
Damian, can I see your patch? I'll just take my patch out.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm not going to hand it to him, but I will unclip it from my belt. And
I just want to
pull
side
it
by
out.
side them, look at them, and see if I can notice like how different they actually are.
Yeah, I'll like hold it out next to his.
Can you spot any
Why
differences?
don't you guys both make an investigation check, or one of you can do it with advantage.
You can do it with advantage.
Okay. Ooh, pretty good. With advantage, it's a 23.
With a 23, you're looking at these patches, these badges, they're kind of leather, like badges. And they look outside of like the small differences and like that they just all have. I mean, these look perfect.
Oh,
Okay.
sweet. Nailed it.
I will say, Damian, especially since you're directly kind of involved in this as well. It was you're remembering back to the guard that you spoke to, and you're remembering that when people are looking at these, it typically is not just a sight thing. You were asked a lot of questions too.
Okay.
These look good enough if we're to flash them really quick that we could probably gain access again back into the city.
Damian, yours is legitimate.
Mine is authentic.
I think, just in case anybody checks them leaving the city or coming back in. And I'm not a huge fan of this, but maybe you go alone to go check this out and see what this is.
The god also did take my patch from me and question me. So I don't know if there's some sort of magical way of determining. That's why I put my input in.
Did he do anything other than inspect it when he took it?
Well, everybody make an insight or wisdom check.
21.
Nat 20, baby.
Nice.
Okay, those are good. So you remember that Nyx gave you these patches outside of the city, and still felt that it was prudent to not use the gates. So at least in his mind, these were not guaranteed to get you in that way.
They're just able to get us through the
It's
barrier.
through the right, and that's kind of where I'm coming from. Of maybe only Damian is the one that goes like through the gates, because
Gotcha.
we have our way in and out. I mean, and I feel like we could always go in our sewer.
I could always use a teleportation technique to get on the other side if we need more than anyone else to inspect any of these buildings. And I kind of just point to like the winery or the fishery and the stables and the farms and everything.
Would I know if that would work if teleportation is something that can be done with this barrier around the city?
Make a... it's a mythal, so make a... I would say make a wisdom check. Or history. I'll let you wisdom or history.
Can I argue for an arcana?
Magic barrier kind of thing?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. 23.
Nice.
I think, I still, even with a 23, I think you don't know. I mean, you have heard of mythos. You're pretty aware that this is a arcane force field that was, I would say, I mean, you even know that, actually, give me 1 second. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
While he looks that up, you can look up at Side21 TV on all social platforms.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know that mythos were kind of passed to... It's a magic that was specifically, taught to mortals by the god, Mithrian Serath.
Okay.
As far as, teleport, that's, very specific, so I would say you don't know.
I'm gonna just, to the best of my knowledge, this is some pretty serious magic straight from the gods.
You got a 23. I would also say that you know that the symbol of this god is 3 intertwined rings.
Ooh.
And which god was that, if you don't mind repeating?
Mithrian Serath. And I can even, I think, give you a touch more.
Yeah, I would like to build on that, because that tells me whose temple we need to be looking for, I think.
What does Bojack look like on the ground right now?
I put his finger in his nose.
I was gonna say his 1 foot is just twitching. The other one is stock still. The other one is kicking every spot.
I look at Damian and I say, Man, you really step up for Elliot here, but
So, Shetic, I will just say, you know that
Have
that is a
respect for a
god
warrior's
from
heart.
god from the Elven pantheon.
okay. Yeah, I'm immediately. I'm gonna. Timber, I think you might be onto something with this potentially being our next temple.
Yeah, I'm going for it.
Oh, right now? That's not. Nope.
No, tomorrow morning when I get up.
Okay.
We can all go, or I would like to accompany you in that.
We've already been recommended not to travel in large groups. I'd say we don't push it because every time we achieve an objective, I have a feeling that's going to make security ramp up a little.
Well, me and Elliot can go just scout out and check this place tomorrow morning.
I haven't seen him use disguise self yet, right? Or is he still? Because I was passed out when he cast it. Or do you still look disguised?
No, when we went into the when we passed through into the sanctum, I dropped it.
I think maybe tomorrow two of us can walk through the castle ward and see if we can find our third temple somewhere in there, because we know it's not in the slums. I feel like we're confident it's not in the Sapphire Ward
Yeah.
or the Market District. I could be wrong.
I barely
But-
know anything of the city, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't put it past. There's a temple tucked somewhere in a alleyway.
Damian,
I'm not
You
sure.
have-
Hmm.
you have a legitimate Ward Weaver patch. Do you know anything about the city?
Not much. It was passed down to me, made by some less than desirable people in my life.
Who?
You're persistent and nosy.
Well, we're all in this together, aren't we? The servant's just kind of like wiping drool off of Bojack's face.
Aw, that's nice.
They're nice.
It would be. This gets a bit confusing, but in terms of my current time alive, it would be my father.
That's real confusing.
A little less confusing than you may think.
Yeah, for sure.
He's not actually my father.
And where is he?
Okay.
A dead man.
Well, at least you got something to benefit his loss.
No. I wouldn't call it a loss at all. It's quite delicious, actually.
All right.
Elliot.
Hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
You may want to come up with a plan on why, or maybe a reason for looking out, searching for more temples.
That shouldn't be too hard. As for you, I don't know that you going into the Elven Gardens is quite the best idea. And I just kind of like give him a look up and down.
Maybe you can come with me. And now that we've crossed, I want to put an X over the fucking museum too. That shit's a target done. And I'm gonna say, Elliot, I've marked on this map twice now. Maybe you leave it here in your sanctum.
That's smart.
I'll have to put it in my room, but sure. As for the Elven Gardens, I'll look towards Damian. I don't think it'll be a problem. And as I'm like saying it, my face is just kind of shimmering back and forth from like different elven features, like back and forth. Like half of my face kind of goes to one, then like half of my face is like an elven woman, and the lower part of my face kind of transforms into like an older elven man, and just comes kind of like just disapparates into the back of my face.
I say, and he has his trusty pig mask.
Yep, he could walk around like a pig.
Very well.
So tomorrow, Timber and I will go. Oh, for fuck's sake, can you get him off the floor?
I'm not doing shit.
I can't think over this man's breathing.
I'm gonna search
have no
his
means to.
pockets.
I don't have any gold.
Does anybody have anything to give this man some fucking life?
What I have, I've already given him.
I have nothing. I have ball bearings.
Cool.
He's just down.
So if we do nothing and we go to, does that will that count
Yeah.
as a long rest for him? Is this a restful sleep?
Yeah, how does that work?
Because I am totally just gonna leave him here on the library floor.
Yeah, I'm going to bed. So I make my way to my room.
I guess we're gonna find out if it's a long rest, huh?
Alright, yeah, cool. Would it, in this artisans area, would I have like the tools appropriate to like try to make? I mean, I'm not proficient in any of this, but could I like possibly spend like an hour or two like looking into like throwing together like some kind of minor healing potion?
I would say that you probably have the supplies there if you had the materials, and I don't think the materials would be there.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna find out.
I have some flesh and bones. Will that help?
Make a medicine check.
Okay, sure. A 3. I'm gonna put the flesh over his eyes. No, I'm not. I need it. I take it back.
I'm going to. I mean, you said it was like non-lethal, but I'm just gonna bend down and make sure he is stabilized.
Yeah, and you reach down and you can, as you put your hand on his shoulder, you kind of see like a vein in his neck, moving, and like little movements under his eyelids, like sleeping people do.
It's like,
Yeah, I got no allegiance to him, but I need him from what I got going on. So
just kind of like look down at him, like, get up and
He's in a deep
then.
sleep.
See you in the morning then, and then I'll retire.
Sweet.
Shetic, a moment.
oh shit. Uh-oh. Yes.
If I am to venture out tomorrow, I have a slight dilemma that I believe only you could assist me with.
And what would that be?
I require a vial of your blood. Not your blood specifically, but
Yeah, I think I have a couple left. I understand. Do we maybe need to go venture out and find another shopkeeper at some point soon?
I was specifically hoping to regain my strength as well as Bojack's and visit that elf. But yes, that will be necessary. Come tomorrow, I will not be able to venture in the sunlight if I do not feed.
Yeah, with that for sure. I'm fucking handing him a vial of my blood, and as I do, I look down at Bojack, and how much blood do you think he has in him?
I'll tell you right now, not a lot after today.
I saw that vein popping out on his neck.
I was gonna say, does he have any is he actively bleeding right now, or is he stabilized? And 'cause I'm not trying to cut him up.
I was gonna say, above table, I'm gonna go and say there will be negative consequences if you take blood from him.
All right.
For him.
Oh, for sure. I mean, which ultimately I feel like translates to negative consequences for us. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna hand him a vial of blood. I'm gonna wait for him to drink it, and I want to take my vial back. I need that.
Oh,
Give
wait,
me that.
I will do.
Are the effects immediate? Like, does it like change the way you look like immediately, or is it just kind of like over time you feel better kind of thing? Like when you just shoot this fucking O positive straight back to the fucking dome.
Yeah, I basically, as far as like the negative effects, you could see it over the course of days. So like right now, it's only been 1 day since I fed, so I would be a bit more like grayish pale looking. But yeah, pretty much as soon as I, take it like a shot and it goes down, color like rushes back.
As he's doing that, I just look at him and I say, well, it looks like I need more components and you need more food. I don't think we do anything big tomorrow, but maybe me and you make another trip to the slums tomorrow evening.
Yes, tomorrow should definitely be kept to reconnaissance, but acquiring more food and materials is never a bad idea.
I'm going to shake my head in agreement. I'm going to look down at Bojack just one more time and just listen out for his snoring. And when I hear it, I'm gonna head out and go let the vines grab me and swoop me back upstairs.
I'm going to stay in the library and go back to where I was sitting and reading and just read some more until I inevitably pass out.
Make an investigation check.
Sick.
15.
Nice.
15. As more time has passed, and especially now that you've had some blood, I think that your mind has grown still, at least relative to the way it was an hour or so ago. And as you're looking through, you kind of pick up on the thread that drew your attention the most last time you were looking in the book about the Moonstone mines below the city. You can see that there were primarily two entrances into these mines, one of which was located in the castle dungeon. And the other was outside of the city, and has since been decommissioned, basically, and had a construction done over top of it. You see that at the time that this book was written, that construction was not complete, but it says it was going to be and the intended construction was going to be a tower.
Okay.
A watchtower outside the city.
I have if you're finished, I have something to do before I go to bed too.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just sitting, I'm making sure I'm like being able to listen out for him, and I'm just going to pass out reading the book in the library.
Okay, go ahead, Elliot.
I'm gonna take the map and just and the key and put it into my chest in my room when I enter, and then I'm gonna take a seat at my in my chair and just kind of like peer into my mirror until I like kind of just fall into that like slumber trance, and try to take some time during that to focus on not specifically my past, like as like a whole, but specifically like just the Underdark and kind of the culture, and see if I can recall anything in that kind of facet. With my existence in that culture, I guess, that's kind of what I'm.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'll let you do. You can either make an insight check, or you can make a history check with disadvantage.
Okay. I think I'd rather make an insight check. Alright, yeah, make an insight. 21?
Roll a 20, dude.
Yeah, right?
21's pretty good. You make a wisdom saving throw.
Fuck. 14.
That's a failure. You will take 7 points of psychic damage as you start to think about this, but you just kind of grit your teeth and push through that feeling, which you've grown a little bit more accustomed to now. And again, it feels like it's not. It's like the barrier is still there, but you feel that it's not as strong as it was. You disappear into this dark space, sitting in your chair. As you look at the mirror, you can see the spiders on the ceiling. As you kind of close your eyes, they fade from your view and it becomes black. You start getting little flashes. You get flashes of what look like a training ground of some kind. You see like archery targets and combat dummies. You see like a rack of swords and like halberds to one side, and it's like the vision is not a clear picture. It's like these elements of this type of space just kind of coming and going, and only it's like you're looking at a picture, but you can only see parts of the picture at a time, and they're fading in and fading out. And you see that kind of fucking goes away, and it goes back to black. And you see something that you've never seen before, outside of the mirror. You see what looks like a spider creature. And you're seeing like a leg, part of its torso. And what's odd about it is that its torso is humanoid. It looks like you're seeing pieces of some, and you don't have the words, right? It's of this spider that you've been not hearing about, and like combined with something else. And as you're starting to get that picture, you fade, and nothing else is shown to you.
Goodness.
However, I will say you feel like after all this time, since waking up next to the dead body and the small abode in the forest scattered with papers and debris, this is the first time since that moment that you felt that you have made any progress whatsoever. But you're feeling whatever is keeping you from your past is starting to. You're starting to figure that out.
Fuck
Yeah, as that
dude.
kind of happens, I'll just for a moment, come to after I fade out of that vision, and just like almost like mental dream journal, just kind of try to burn that image of like that creature in front of me. Just kind of think about it for like a few more minutes before I kind of doze back out.
And in those moments that you're doing that before you doze back out, you hear a intense rattling of bones.
Oh, jeez.
That's it.
Go back to sleep.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
Any of the rest of you, everybody good? Bojack, you're passed out. All right, you guys can all take a long rest.
Wait.
Yay!
All right, Bojack, if you want to do anything, but
Yeah, I was just gonna be talking to Damian. I can do that sometime else.
Long
I
rest.
honestly did that entirely forgetting that you were pretty fucked up.
You all, two of you, stretch out from either your chair or the floor in the library. The rest of you wake up in your rooms on the second floor of the Sanctum Spire. And a brand new day in High Moon. It's pretty early.
I want
You
to
guys
point
got
out,
early night.
I think Bojack spent 3 nights in this sanctuary, and 2 of those have been on the first floor, on the floor somewhere.
I was literally about to bring that up. I was about to be like, "What again? God, I sleep more on the ground than my own freaking bed."
You wake up to a servant with just like a platter in front of you that's just like piled like a foot high with just bacon.
I just
Nice.
sit up and like that cross-legged and just start eating it.
It just kind of like lowers itself next to you and just kind of just like pulses, glows.
Can he roll for cholesterol?
Best way to wake up I've ever had.
Dwarf barbarians are immune to
Immune
bacon.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna head down and get my breakfast from these servants, and I guess we need to figure out who's going with who and where.
Yeah, I go and join them. I knock on Elliot's door on the way, and I say, "Hey, you ready to go? Let's do it."
Kind of open the door, and you just see like just like very slowly open the door, and you just see like my somber ass face, just like hair, just like withered, and just in front of my face. I'm like, let's go then.
Cheer up, pig man. The sun's shining.
Just walk past you and go towards the dirt circle. Go downstairs.
Yeah.
So, you and me to the Elven Gardens this morning.
That's right. Let's do it.
All right.
David, have you come down yet?
I'm still in the
Oh, yeah, you're
library.
in the library.
I'm sitting silently, not breathing or anything, just watching Bojack as he like wakes up on the floor and just eating this platter of bacon.
Mhm.
Hey,
I
Damian,
imagine
you
just
want
like-
any?
He's just like laying there.
Never
like,
mind, I'm not sharing.
Oh.
You see me like look over my shoulder, gesture, "Do you want any?" And then I like do the snatch thing like a kid, and you're like, "No, never mind, it's all mine."
Yeah, I guess after I'm done eating, I'm gonna go to Damian, and I'm gonna say, where are you headed today?
Well, we had said something about going somewhere outside the city last night.
Oh God.
Oh, it's raining.
What's
You guys
raining?
hear the sound of distant rainfall, even here within the sanctum.
Oh
Sounds like
shit!
just sounds like it's like far away. It's hard to hear, but
Ooh, I don't do water.
What, pussycat, afraid to get wet?
Damian,
I was a little preoccupied when you mentioned where. I just heard mention of going outside the gates, and I had a feeling, I should say, that I would be the best for that job.
Elliot, you did leave the map like in the library, right?
Oh yeah, I brought it back down with me. I'm
Alright.
putting it in the chest.
I'm gonna point up here because I'm pretty sure you're Damian. I'm pretty sure you're the one that pointed this out.
What, this thing?
Yeah.
I didn't point it out, but that is where y'all were talking about.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna go investigate the castle ward today, and I think me and you maybe need to rendezvous in the slums sometime around 9 p.m. What
Understood.
works best for you?
Well, I can't.
You forget something there? Hello?
I just ignore and keep talking with Shetic. I
Mhm.
can't guarantee exactly how long it will take me, but yes, that I will try and meet there around sundown.
Is
I
there a
don't-
temple in the slums?
I'll just look at Elliot and I look back at Damian. I don't necessarily have to have you there. I'll still collect some stuff for you, but it'd definitely be preferred if me and you didn't do this alone.
Understood. I will make it a priority to meet there at sundown.
I'm gonna go up to the map, collect it up, kind of put it into my satchel, and just disapparate the mansion. Poof.
all right.
On
You
the
guys
wall.
are all expelled into the alley here in the northeast corner of High Moon. It is pouring rain, and there are puddles gathering in between the cobblestones. You can see the tree stretching high into the sky, coming out of the moon garden, is like heavy. The leaves are like heavy with the weight of the water that has been falling, and it is. You see nobody really around back here in the alley, but
Timber puts up his cloak, kind of tucks his tail underneath his cloak, wraps up real tight. All right, well, I guess it's time to work. Elliot, I'll race you.
I'd rather not. And I kind of put my cloak over my head as well, and you see my face. Like as I do that, the shadow kind of comes over me, and then I use Alter Self to just be another, just like elven man.
okay.
Fairly nondescript.
All right, so I just start heading that way.
All right, as Elliot and Timber break away from the alley here and head off to the direction of the Elven Gardens. Bojack, Damian, and Shetic, what are you doing?
The plate of
leave it.
bacon is gone too. Sorry, bud.
Oh yeah, Bojack doesn't know anything about what we planned.
Nope. And he didn't get briefed either.
Nope. So I'm just looking up at their two tall, lanky asses, and I'm like, so where?
Rain's hitting you in the face.
Where the hell do you need me to go?
I look down at him, and then back at Shetic. I believe the small one would be better suited with you, honestly.
Hey, I saw that.
I have to agree.
And as much as I enjoy his feisty presence, I don't think it would be the best for what I'm on a mission to do.
I look down at him. I said, little one, I really, really need you to be quiet today.
I make no promises.
I can certainly make it easy for you if you'd like.
Oh, what you got?
Can you stand still for 10 minutes?
You
No, I'm
should
not-
know that answer by now is no.
Okay, well, I was just going to feign death you and leave you laying here for 8 hours.
Just be a dead body in the freaking street.
Me and you are going to the castle ward. The plan is we're looking for a temple. And if anybody asks why, you're my security, and I'm looking for scholarly reasons. I'm trying to do some research on different gods and look at the practices of different prayers to different gods. You are my bodyguard, nothing else, and you're a quiet bodyguard.
So the first time anyone looks at you, I snap their legs so they can't escape. Got it. If they can't get closer or farther away, you're safe, right?
I
Looks at smell
Cast
list.
fireball.
am going to cast suggestion on our friend here. And that's
Okay.
going to be a DC 16 Wisdom save.
All right. See, I got a 7.
Nice.
I'm gonna look at him, and I'm gonna say, for the rest of the day, you are my quiet, reserved bodyguard. You don't say a word to anybody but me.
What's the duration of suggestion?
8 hours.
Perfect.
You just get this like
But-
he shoots you a glare, but he gives you like a curt nod.
It is a concentration, so I mean, if anything does come up, you know, any
Gotcha.
rolls or anything, or if I cast another concentration.
All right, Shetic and Damian very quietly, or Shetic and Bojack very quietly for Bojack, kind of start heading on the north side of between the castle and like these buildings of like city management, landscaping and stuff. Damian, you find yourself standing alone here in this corner.
Yeah, I'll give it about a minute or two to let them kind of make their way so we're not in groups at all, and then I'm gonna make my way towards this gate here.
All right.
And when we're not around people, I feel kind of bad. I've been pretty rough on Bojack here these past 12 hours.
He's like angrily stomping through puddles, just like a kid having a tantrum.
Whenever we're not
gonna
around,
start with you two, so go for it.
whenever we're not around people, and I feel like there's anybody that would think that he's weird out of earshot, I'm just gonna ask him. So Bojack, where do you come from, buddy?
I come from under the hill and over the hill and all those dead people at Skullport.
Oh, Skullport.
Oh,
Okay, we're on to something now. And what was I'm just asking about his background. Like, what was his upbringing like? I'm trying to figure out why he's so fucking loud. And like, Shetic gets the feeling that this dude works for the Black Hand, and it's not necessarily out of like any sort of want to do evil. It's more just he found an opportunity to commit violence, and I want to know why. Like, he just likes being violent.
You see him like stare up into the rain, and it just like splatters into his face, and he's like, well, it's all I've ever known. When your first memory is breaking somebody's finger for food, you really kind of just fall in line with whoever's got more food.
I understand that, and maybe if you can learn to be a little bit more reserved, me and you could continue doing some business in the future once this is all done. I am always in need of bodies, and you seem to be someone willing to produce as many as you can.
Aye, back in Skullport, the thing they wanted me to do most was enforce the tax rate, as they told me to say. I don't know what tax rate I was enforcing, but that's what they told me to say.
And you did what to those who didn't pay their taxes?
He gets like that wicked grin. He's just like...
Understood.
What didn't I do is more likely.
Okay. All right.
Take inspiration, Bojack.
And like then he gets lost in memories and is like now pulled out one of his hand axes and is like picking his own meat from like underneath his fingernails, and he's just like, yeah, after about the 8th body they told me that I needed to I think he said to be Nita, and that told me to chop him up into more pieces.
With that, he says that out loud, and I just look at him and I say, you're done talking. And we're going to continue walking to the castle ward in silence.
I'm just like, oh, quietly mope behind him.
And you, are making very little noise, especially considering the heavy rainfall. So, occasional footstep in a puddle is about all we hear from you two as you're making your way into the north part of the castle ward here. And you kind of come around away from the, annex buildings that exist on the back wall here. And the castle ward as a whole kind of opens up in front of you. What are we looking for in this immediate moment?
I'm looking.
I'm staring at Shetic. I'm just staring daggers at him like, fuck are we here for?
I'm looking for anything that looks like it could be a temple, any religious buildings. Maybe even like looking out for healers, a sign of a building that would sell spell components. I don't know, anything that would give me any sort of semblance towards like religion.
From where you guys are at right now, you're not seeing anything that... Go ahead and make a investigation check, and we'll see.
An 11.
I don't see anything that looks really religious. You're seeing this first kind of building here looks like... It's got a sign above it that says the Duke's Ledger. Inn and Tavern. Other than that, from up here in this corner, you are kind of on the edge here, so not really seeing much. But you guys are more than welcome to head further in and continue to look for that stuff.
I'm gonna look down at Bojack and I'm gonna say, little man, we're gonna go into a tavern, and I think it'd be weirder if you were quiet. Don't talk about death to anybody in there. Don't talk about anything that we're going to do, and don't get in any fights. And I want to go into the tavern, and from there, yeah, we'll see.
All right, yeah. You guys make your way into the tavern, and you can see a human man standing behind the tavern. It looks like he's pouring a few like early morning beers for a couple of pretty shabby looking individuals.
Is that one of those water-deep breakfast beers I keep hearing about?
Is that what you asked him?
Yes.
Um,
Breakfast brews.
From that one tavern?
From that one time, I can't think of the name.
I said human. He's actually a halfling. That's my bad. He kind of looks up at you and he goes, "Oh, you've heard of the breakfast beer from Waterdeep?"
At this point, who hasn't?
Well, you figured me out. We do have it shipped over this way, all the way from the Swords Coast.
I look down there and say, we'll each have one of those, and we go take a seat at the bar, and I
Right.
pop out some gold.
He says, "Just 2 silver there. Easy then."
I'll take the change. This is all I have. And I put a gold piece down.
He hands you back.
Because I don't fucking
silver.
tip 1000% like everyone else does.
Right. Yeah, so he changes out for you, hands you back the, 8 silver?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Here you are then.
And while we're sitting there drinking, I'm just going to casually say, I'm here doing research on the pantheons of different gods. Do you know where we could go in your fine city to get some further insight?
Make a deception check.
Oh, no.
Bojack is mildly impressed with the beer. He actually had not heard of breakfast beer before. Now he is mildly impressed with it.
Nice. Too bad he can't say anything about it. 15.
With a 15, I mean, this is a pretty basic question. He maybe gives you a little kind of side eye, just based on the look of the two of you. He says, "Well, we've got 3 temples in High Moon. The Temple of Ruthless is over in the Moon Garden. The Temple of Mithrian Seraph, you can find that in the Elven Gardens. And the Temple of Saloon is right here in the Castle Ward. If you're looking for religion, that's where I'd recommend you go.
How do we get to the Temple of Saloon from here?
It's actually just, you know where the Tablets of Fate are?
Is that the tablets near the market?
Aye.
Yes, I've seen them.
It'll be just north of there.
I am making an extreme mental note of that.
As you guys find out this information, you're sitting in the tavern. We're going to jump over to Damian. Damian, you are walking up now to the gate, the eastern gate of the city of High Moon. There, as you look around this space, you see a couple of what you know now to be like city guards standing on either side of the inside, and you can see 2 more standing on the outside. It does look like there is a very small group of people discussing something with the guards on the other side of the gate, but kind of throughout, the mood in High Moon is definitely diminished today. It seems that the weather is keeping a lot of people off the streets right now.
Well, then I'd like to try and make my way out of the gate, and as I do, I'd like to try and kind of eavesdrop on that group talking to the guards.
Okay, yeah, and you nod, and going out of the city, they don't seem to be as concerned with what you're doing. But yeah, and as you start to make your way down the cobblestone street that like leads outward, You make your way through this gate. You can see now the like a large windmill and like some farmland across on the other side of the river, and then to your other side down here, you do see the big water wheel, and you can actually hear it turning in the water. It seems like it's moving a little faster because of the weather, but it's chugging along. You don't really see any activity down here or up at the farms other than the rain falling. As you eavesdrop on this conversation, it seems to be a pretty run-of-the-mill discussion. He's like, welcome to High Moon. Do you have patches? And you see them all. So they're like the hesitancies, they had them stowed. So they're kind of like going through their packs looking for their ward weavers.
Okay. Then with that, I'm looking around for the tower that I read about that was presumably under construction.
You can see the tip of a structure off to the north. It is slightly obscured when you first come out. It looks like there's a kind of a dense patch of forest that hugs the river, kind of between the river and the east wall of the city. But you do see what looks like the pointed kind of top of a like tower. Make a perception check.
Perception. 14.
With a 14, I'll say with the heavy rain, you can't really get a concept of like the condition or purpose of this structure. You're just barely catching the top of the structure.
Then I kind of want to make my way to the bank of this river and then just follow it up towards that direction.
Yeah, you approach a fairly long bridge that goes across this river here, and you cut into the grass and begin to approach, walking towards this kind of dense set of trees, but along the bank of the river. Dame, Elliot, and Timber, what are you guys doing?
Oh, we're just I'm just heading straight for this place, seeing if it's a temple.
Yeah, so you guys make your way down into the Elven Garden area, and this is, this is something that Damian kind of already experienced, but it's got all the earmarks of Elven society, way more than any other part of the city that you've been to now. Everything is, wooden and the green in color and very all the structures that you can see look like they are very ornately kind of carved and very well kept in all aspects. As you come around this first corner, though, onto the street, you do find what looks to be a temple. There's two wide staircases that come up from the left and the right and kind of meet in the middle, and there's like a small fountain in between the staircases. Like if the staircases were a semicircle, there'd be a fountain like in the middle of it there. And yeah, you can see that it has a 3-ringed kind of symbol hanging over the top of the entranceway.
Would you look at that?
I called it. I elbow Elliot. Hey, I called that.
Kind of brush him off of my thigh where he's elbowing me at.
And I say, I'm going in.
While we're on this trek together, do me a favor and look for any maybe low-hanging purses or I don't have any money. I don't know what happened to it, and we need could definitely use some more potions since those two fucks needed the last two I had.
All right, let's scope out this temple, and then we'll go find you some potions.
As we're walking up, you happen to speak Elvish?
Oh, I do.
Great.
As Timber confirms that he speaks Elvish, you hear this crack of lightning go across the sky, and that is where we're going to end tonight's episode.
All right,
man.
All right.
What up?
We've got eyes on, or at least knowledge of, a couple more temples in the city. Damian's out playing Huck Finn on the river out there, and that's where we'll pick up next time.
Aaron, I'm sorry, man. I feel like I'm bullying you here.
Hey, sometimes that's be the way the dice go.
That's going to do it for tonight's episode of The Black Hand of Fate. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you watching. Go ahead and drop a like. Feel free to subscribe so you can get notified when we go live again. Connect with us on social media at Side21 TV. Let us know what you liked. Let us know what you want to see more of. And we will see you next time. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.